Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just point something out that I think is just not only completely absurd that we're even talking about this, right? Like, the video should not exist. Let's just go ahead and clear that up before we go any further, but also, something so obvious, okay? Something so clearly obviously a problem, and yet, where is Activision Blizzard? I don't know, because, like, this is not just this game. This has been an issue in Call of Duty for years now. I mean, even back in, like, Warzone, early Warzone, 2020, this was an issue, right? People cheating, people hacking, wall aims, God mode, flying around the map, whatever it is, right? There's been people cheating in Call of Duty, and I even just talked about this recently, right? In my last video, where I was talking about how the whole COD community was all hyped up because of the gameplay that they saw, talking about how, oh, COD's back, man, COD's finally back, we're back on top here, right? And I talked about that, and I talked about how everyone was getting ahead of themselves, and how that all of the same problems that Call of Duty continually has over time will still be in this game regardless of how much nostalgia marketing they're putting people through for a $70 update to last year's title, okay? So in that video, I openly talked about, like, the cheating problem in Call of Duty and how it's been an issue for a while now, how it hasn't been addressed, how it's obviously going to be part of the next game. Well, I did not expect that when I said that, Call of Duty would prove me right literally within the first day the game was available to anyone outside of the studio, guys. So, if you can or can't believe this, I'm not sure, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the video game that's not even out yet, the game that has not officially released, the one that is still in private PlayStation exclusive beta, has already been infiltrated by hackers, to the point where people are having trouble playing the game because they're running into so many fucking hackers. What? I can't even believe that I'm actually saying this right now. Actually, you know what? I can believe, but I can't believe it at the same time, right? Because, I mean, ultimately, this is how Call of Duty's been for a while. I've been saying this. This is part of the problem. This is a constant issue for Call of Duty. So in that regard, no, it is not a surprise. But in the regard that the game had only been available to the public for, not even really the public, but a subsection of the public for a matter of hours before people were already fucking breaking the game and literally cheating to the point like they were auto-aiming people through walls and stuff, it's inexcusable.
Like an effective fire. Missed me.
Enemies taking Echo. We've lost Delta. Hostile Guardian is active. Hostile Guardian has been deployed.
Ammo's running low.
The mission's complete. Good work.
So I just went ahead and I played you some clips from Twitter where people have already recorded in Modern Warfare 3 people are already fucking cheating in the game. And I mean, you saw these clips, right? Like, there's very clearly instances where, I mean, you can't even make a fucking argument that this person just, like, I don't know, was better than you at the game, or, like, just got good, or, maybe their gaming chair was reclined at the perfect fucking angle, or their Xbox controller had enough Cheetos dust buildup to fucking give some extra grip. I don't know, right? But, like, there's just no argument for some of these clips, man. This is just blatant cheating. And once again, keep in mind, too, it's not even like the open beta where all the platforms are on, you got your PC, your Xbox, PlayStation, none of that, right? We're still talking about a situation where basically people who pre-ordered the fucking video game on PlayStation only are the only people able to play right now. I mean, the Xbox and PC players have to wait until like next weekend or whatever before they can play the beta. This first weekend is just exclusive to PlayStation. So the people cheating in these clips that we've seen, these are people playing on console. right? It's not even like on PC where, I mean, let's be honest, the difference between cheating on console and PC is pretty insane. I mean, to cheat on console, you gotta, go get you a Cronus Max or like some fucking cheat thing. A lot of the times you gotta like jailbreak the console, I'm pretty sure. But like on a PC, man, you just go on some fucking GitHub link, you pay somebody $20, you download a zip file, and next thing you know, you aim automatically for yourself in Call of Duty and shoot with no ammunition. And you get a million XP per kill, right? So like, it just, I don't know, it's kind of mind-blowing to me that already this is a problem. Like, you would think that also Activision would like be interested in preventing this too, because not only does this make the game look like shit, but this means too, they can't keep their billion-dollar IP security even up for enough time to run a fucking beta before people in their bedrooms are able to cheat and fucking get into God modes and whatnot in your game. You gotta think about it like from my perspective, right? I'm not really too intrigued by this year's Call of Duty title, to be honest. If anything, I might wait for like a $30 sale. I don't get why anyone would do this either. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I understand why you cheat in like, like an MLG game or something where money's on the line. I understand people cheating, but like, it's the first day of the beta, right? You are just now getting to actually play the new COD or whatever for the first time, and you spend the first time you play like cheating and just like not even really having fun with the game, just like breaking the game and just like getting a bunch of kills you didn't earn. I don't even understand why people are doing it, but like, obviously it is already an issue. It is already a clear-cut problem. And I'm just like, I'm kind of reveling in the fact that I was right, but also like, it's sad to see this because as a Call of Duty fan who back in the day, like I played every COD, right? Like I was playing every year. I was always grinding. And even with like BO2, dude, I played that game till like 2016, on PS3 and everything. So it got to a point, man, where like, and like we're at a point in time, man, where like, I hate that I have to bring this up. Like, it seems like every time I talk about something like this in a video, man, it's like, oh, well, this is how much money they spend doing this, and this is how much money they spend doing that. This is what they do this year. This is what they do that year. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to most people playing games, like how much money these people make. But like, this is a franchise that constantly sets like new records for sales. And they're like, oh, we're making fucking $3 billion on release week this year for Call of Duty, right? It's not like this is some dude making video games in his bedroom in his spare time while he works at Costco, who's just throwing something together, just all hoping it can work out or whatever. These are companies that are listed on the stock exchange. They have shareholders, they have boards of directors, they have tens of thousands of employees overall. They have all the resources, all the funding in the world. They have everything they need to actually pull these kinds of things off. And then yet, like, you spend $70 on this shit for this. Like, and you gotta think, to get access to this beta, you had to pre-order, okay? This is a closed beta. You had to spend the money up front. Like, this isn't somebody buying the game at release day. These are people who, in a lot of instances, they didn't even just pay $70. They may have paid $90, for an upgraded edition. They may have paid $120, whatever it is, like to get the extra upgrade bundle, right? Where the battle pass will fucking sell you their firstborn child at Activision. These are people who spent like extra money, if anything, on the game. And their first experiences with the game is people flying fucking around and shooting them through walls and just all kinds of like clear cheating and clear like problems going on in the game. It's one of those things, man, where like for me, I continue to see people defend this shit. They're like, oh, well, the developers, man, they're gonna get it figured out. By time anyone even gets this game at launch, we're gonna be basically talking about a whole new game, man. I mean, in 3 weeks when the game officially releases for the entire public to fucking play, right? We're gonna be in a situation here where there's not gonna be these issues, man. That's why they have a beta, so they can get these problems figured out. These were never problems in Call of Duty back in the day, man. Even with like Black Ops 2, right? Like I said, I played that game for like 4 years, even after it came out. People didn't start modding and like hacking in public lobbies and whatnot in that game and in Modern Warfare 2 and in all these older CODs, right? Like for a year or two after the game was done. Like, they release a COD every year. So for BO2, it came out in 2012. It got replaced by Ghosts in 2013, and people after that point is when people started cheating. When the game was out of its life cycle, when it wasn't the mainline COD, when all of the resources weren't dedicated to that fucking game, that was when we were talking about it like that, right? Like a situation where, it took a while for these problems to really kind of rear their ugly head. And even then, right, like it sucked to watch these games get kind of screwed over like that. But even then, like, you realized that they've moved on to the new title, Yeah, they're not going to be updating the BO2 servers and banning people and keeping cheats out in 2015, they've got 2 new Call of Duty games out since then, right? So that isn't the case with COD anymore, though. The games have gotten more expensive to purchase, they've gotten more expensive to make, they've grown in scope, they've probably grown in the amount of employees it takes to make them, and yet even through all of that, you see this problem somehow become worse. I mean, even in like a couple years ago in Call of Duty, people weren't cheating day one. I mean, this isn't even cheating day one. This is cheating like the day before day 0. The game isn't even publicly in beta yet, and there's already people cheating. I mean, how can you in any way expect at this point, if you're, let's say, on the fence about buying Call of Duty this year, how can you in any way expect that the cheating problem and the moderation problems in this game have gotten any better than the last few Call of Duties if already in the closed beta, people are already fucking cheating? It makes no sense even for Activision why they don't do something about this. Like, this is your new streamlined Call of Duty title. This is the one that's gonna, hopefully for you, set your franchise records. That's what you're hoping. That's what your shareholders are definitely hoping, right? You have so much riding on this product. Like, it's literally one of the most, like, iconic gaming franchises ever. It makes you so much money. You know, you're realistically being tested a lot by your consumer at this point to actually up the quality. And instead of doing that and, like, actually figuring it out, somehow it gets to this, man. Like, in what world are anyone going to be able to buy games anymore and expect for them to, like, come out polished and, like, actually be product, man? I mean, is this really the future of all online multiplayer gaming? If that's the case, right, and games can't start getting this shit really under control, man, like, what really is going to be the point in playing a lot of these games? Like, Call of Duty is one of those games, right, like, you play in the hopes to get a whole bunch of kills and, like, to win the game and, like, be better than the other team. And then you have some person on the other team who can see you through the walls, who can't take damage, who has infinite ammo, whatever it may be, right? How do you beat that? And if you can't beat that and they're constantly ruining the gameplay, at that point, when does it become like, why am I spending $70 for this? I just really don't understand, like, even for any perspective in this really doesn't make sense. Like, from the hacking perspective, from Activision's perspective, anything. Why would you want to, I don't know. Like, for me, I understand why people cheat in video games. I think it's scummy. I think it's shitty when you're cheating in online games and ruining people's, like, experience with a game they paid for. But, I mean, like, I understand why people do it. You know, I understand why folks do it. But, like, in this case, there's nothing on the line. Like, there's nothing really that matters. I mean, none of this progress is going to stay. None of it matters at all. You're just literally testing out the game, seeing if it's fun. And your first instinct is to just, like, immediately start fucking cheating and immediately start ruining the game for yourself and everybody else. I don't know, dude. None of it makes any sort of sense to me. It's a situation where ultimately you look at it and you start to wonder, how much longer can shit like this continue to go on? I guess really as long as people continue to just put up with it. So anyway, with that being said though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Call of Duty's hacking problem and signing out.